England crowned world champions after dominant win over Canada. The dream finally came true for England's women's rugby team as they lifted the Women's Rugby World Cup 2025 title with a powerful 33-13 victory over Canada at Twickenham Stadium in London. The match, held on the 27th of September 2025, was not just a sporting contest, it was a historic moment that broke records and inspired millions around the globe. With 81,885 fans in the stands, the game set a new attendance record for women's rugby. Drums, cheers, flags, and roaring chants filled the stadium as England took the field aiming to reclaim the world title, while Canada fought for their first ever championship. Canada shocks England with early strike. The match started with high energy from Canada. Only minutes into the game, Asia Hogan-Rochester made a brilliant run, slipping past defenders and scoring the first try of the match. The early burst gave Canada a 5-0 lead, and their fans erupted with excitement. England, however, did not look shaken. Their experienced players stayed calm and quickly reorganized. Within a few minutes, they answered back. England responds in style. England's star Ellie Kildunne found a gap in Canada's defensive line and sprinted across to score England's first try. Zoe Harrison successfully converted it, putting England ahead 7-5. From that moment on, the momentum started to tilt towards the home side. Soon after, England continued piling on pressure. Amy Cockayne, one of their leading forwards, forced her way over the line for another try. Harrison kicked again, and England extended the lead to 14-5. Canada tried to settle back into the contest, but England's structure, passing accuracy, and physical strength began to take over. England turns up the heat. Before halftime, England added more damage. Alex Matthews powered through to score yet another try. Her timing, strength, and positioning were perfect, leaving Canada unable to stop her. With the conversion, England pushed further ahead, and by halftime, they were firmly in control. Canada earned a penalty which brought their score up by 3 points, but their finishing and conversion attempts continued to struggle. The halftime score stood at 21-8 in England's favor. The crowd could sense the result tilting, but Canada wasn't ready to give up. Canada fights back but faces strong resistance. The second half began with more determination from Canada. Their forwards tried to carry the ball deep into England's territory, but every time they gained ground, England's defense closed in. A key moment came when Hannah Botterman from England received a yellow card for an illegal tackle. This temporarily reduced England to 14 players, giving Canada a chance to push forward. Taking advantage of the extra space, Asia Hogan-Rochester struck again and scored her second try of the match, bringing Canada to 13 points. However, once again, there was no successful conversion, and the gap remained wide. England locks down victory. With Botterman back on the field and their full squad restored, England regained total control. Their teamwork started to shine brightly. Abby Ward scored a try using brilliant forward play. Alex Matthews added yet another try, bringing her tally for the match to 2. Harrison converted most of the attempts, and the score climbed to 33-13. At this point, Canada looked tired and overwhelmed, while England's confidence grew. Every pass, tackle, and run reflected their discipline and preparation. The clock ticked down, and the chants of "Eng Land, Eng Land" got louder. Player of the match, Sadia Kabeya. Although multiple English players performed brilliantly, it was Sadia Kabeya who earned the Player of the Match award. She was outstanding in the breakdowns, tackles, and ball carries. Her work rate and intelligence on the field were crucial in shutting down Canadian attacks and regaining possession. Final whistle and emotional celebration. When the match ended, the stadium exploded with cheers. England's players hugged each other, some in tears, others lifting their arms in triumph. Flags waved across the stands, and fireworks burst overhead. Captain Marley Packer lifted the trophy high, surrounded by her teammates wearing gold medals and massive smiles. The World Cup title was back in England's hands. For the Red Roses, This victory was not just about winning the final, it was about years of hard work, heartbreak, and persistence. After losing to New Zealand in 2022, this triumph felt like redemption. A win that goes beyond the score. This final was also a big moment for the future of women's rugby. Record attendance: 81,885 fans. High TV ratings worldwide. Stronger global recognition of women's rugby. Inspiration for young female athletes. Fans, former players, and analysts praise the final as one of the best performances by a women's rugby team in recent years. Bronze final. New Zealand takes third place. Earlier on the same day, New Zealand defeated France with a strong 42-26 performance in the bronze final. The Black Ferns showed skill and speed, securing third place in the tournament and finishing their campaign on a high. Canada leaves with pride. Even though Canada did not win the title, their journey to the final was a major achievement. They played with intensity and courage, beating strong teams along the way. Asia Hogan-Rochester's performance was especially praised, and Canada's progress shows how much women's rugby has expanded beyond the traditional powerhouses. Fans and analysts say Canada is now firmly a top contender on the world stage, and with more development, they could return even stronger in the next World Cup. What's next? England's win sets the stage for more investment in women's rugby in Europe and beyond. Greater sponsorship and media coverage. Growing fanbases in countries like Canada, France, New Zealand, USA, and Australia. Increased youth participation. Rugby unions around the world now see the potential of the women's game, and after a final like this, support is expected to rise even further. Final score recap. England 33-13 Canada. Tries: Ellie Kildunne, Amy Cockayne, Alex Matthews 2, Abby Ward. Conversions: Zoe Harrison 4. Canada. Asia Hogan-Rochester 2 tries. 1 penalty kick.